Okay, 5 o'clock as always. Right. That's how it starts up every time. I think it's something to do with the fuel not getting there or something. It drains out of the fuel line, so I'm always pumping the pedal to get it going. But sounds pretty good. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is an update on some stuff that's been going on. If you've listened to the Porsche podcast, you probably know some of it already, but the Boxster is sold. But before we get on to that, something quite momentous happened, and it was a bit weird, but basically Mrs. Flat Cab driver, my wife, went in the 912 for the first time after a couple of years of ownership, and it was mostly because the 911 is in storage and we had left our everyday car somewhere and we had to go and pick it up, so this was the only way that we could get there. And so she got in, obviously no seat belts, which is a bit weird. She's got no interest in driving it, but at the same time she quite likes this one, and I fired it up and she went, oh, I quite like it. Kind of reminds me of being in the MG. Now for those who don't know, I used to own a 1968 MGB Roadster, which I loved, but I just didn't use it, so I sold it last year. Anyway, so we're driving along. The place that we're going to go to is about 5 miles away, and we're driving along and someone waves at me. I don't know who that person is, but the guy's in a Land Rover Defender, and he just sticks his arm out the window and waves, and I wave back, and she goes, who's that? And I go, I don't know. So we're going along, then a cyclist comes past and he waves at me, and she goes, who's that? And I went, I don't know. And then someone in a BMW, an old 1988 5 Series, driving past, sticks his hand out the window and waves at me, and she goes, who's that? And I went, I don't know. And she said, do people just wave at you as you're driving around in this car? And I went, yeah. So we have a bit of a silence, and then she goes, you guys are fucking weird. Those are her exact words. Another 5 minutes go by, and she says, oh, you could have made a video while we were driving. And I thought, not with that background commentary running, no. So anyway, so that was really cool. It was nice to have her in the car. I was really pleased that she liked being in it, and it is a nice car to drive and to be a passenger in even. I was a bit worried because she's probably the first passenger I've had in it, and it was right that it should be her, but at the same time I haven't got seatbelts fitted, which is why I've not had anyone as a passenger in it before. So yeah. Anyway, the Boxster sold. I sold it for, wait for it, £1,875. So just as a recap, I bought it for £2,200. I got it transported to my house for £400 and something. I spent £600 getting it on the road, so that's 3,200, 3,300. Getting it on the road as in make it so I could drive it, but it was still horrific. So then I spent another maybe £1,100 getting it an MOT. And it kind of drove okay, so I sold it with an MOT. So I spent about £4,300 on getting it working. And I mean, it's horrible, but at the same time, fundamentally it's probably quite a nice car. It just needed a suspension refresh and the timing chain tensioners replaced. Why is there so much water on the roads? It hasn't rained. Oh, probably because there's a water leak somewhere at Probably because there's a water leak somewhere, and obviously there's a hose pipe ban, so of course there's a water leak and it's not getting fixed. Call me cynical. But anyway, so I advertise it because I want it to be sold, so I'm not going to take the P. I advertise it for £2,500. Obviously I get a hail of people calling who are just, you know, con artists. I didn't think Auto Trader was that place, but it's just, I guess, anywhere they're for sale, people call up doing that. And then there were the chancers saying, I'll give you £1,000 for it. And then there's those who are saying, I'll give you £1,500 for it. And I'll just get it picked up. And then there were those genuine people who said, oh, I don't wrench myself, but I'll give you, you know, £2,000 for it, and then we'll do this. And I had to be honest and say, look, dude, it's never going to be worth that. And then there were those saying, oh, but for £500 more, I could get a driving one with lower mileage and much better history. I was thinking, dude, if you could do that, that's what you'd go and do. And so anyway, 2 days in, it'd been on Auto Trader, and a couple of guys called from further up north and said they were going to come and have a look. They were organising a time to come and have a look, but in the meantime, some guy who lived locally just came to have a look. Again, he did the usual, offered me 1,500 quid, which, you know, why wouldn't you? You'd give that a go. And I said no, and we met at 1,875 because I just thought, you know, as he arrived, I thought, I'm selling it to this guy. I want this car gone. And so that's what I did. Beans, ooh, 6,000 RPM, 5,000 RPM, 90 kilometers an hour, and 5th gear. Anyway, so it's gone. £1,875. So he's got a bargain, which I don't begrudge him that. I hope it turns out, you know, he puts those timing chain tensioners in that I gave him with the car, and I hope it turns out to be a great daily driver, and he just fixes the suspension. Done. And I think he does do a bit of wrenching himself, so, which is great. And I was worried that I would just get pissed off with everybody, and I'd just go, right, fuck it, I'm going to stick it in the end of the driver and I'll put a cover over it. But the other disappointing bit is that I took this car out of storage maybe 2 weeks ago, which means my 911 is in storage, so I've been parking it in a friend's garage nearby. But I've driven it once in that time, and that was to go and pick up our daily car that I'd left somewhere else. So I'm massively disappointed in how much I've driven this car. The weather's been fantastic. It's actually just really mucky now, and it drives better than it's ever done, touch wood, but I've just not used it. And now I feel like I want to put it away tomorrow, back in storage. I can't wait to get behind the wheel of my 911 again, but that needs new pads and discs. And also, am I in 5th gear? Yes, I am. And also an oil change. So I'm gonna have to spend some money on that, but which is fine because I love driving it. But that's been sat there for 2 weeks, and so is this, because my family have been over from abroad. I've been busy doing decorating and stuff like that. I've managed to do it great. The next one that we do, you need to listen out for that one, because it's going to be Patrick Long, the racing driver. And also, he's the one who did the announcement for Porsche on YouTube with Andy Pruninger, and he interviewed him, and we're going to get him on, and I'm hoping that he'll have driven the GT3 RS by the time we speak to him, but you never know. But anyway, I'm excited about it, and that's about it really. That's the update. I'm really disappointed that I haven't been able to drive this car more, but at the same time, I love that it's driving quite well. I'm on a national speed limit road. I'm doing 100 kilometers an hour. Feels quite comfortable. Yeah. The other thing is, the Formula One. I've been watching I don't watch Formula One because apart from the Silverstone Grand Prix, because I don't have Sky, and I refuse to have Sky. And also, I mean, they're making more money than ever, but with a smaller audience. You know, go figure. Sport washing. Maybe it's that. But anyway, Daniel Ricciardo, you know, moving to McLaren has not made him a bad driver. There's something about that car that doesn't suit him, and there's always that happens. Look at Albon when he was at Red Bull, just didn't suit him, and then he's at Williams and he's thriving. So I hope he doesn't leave Formula One. I hope he goes to Alpine. I mean, that's the only sort of one of the top 4 teams drive that's available. But I hope he doesn't retire. And also, I mean, the Belgian Grand Prix, Verstappen coming through from 14th or whatever it was on the grid to lead by lap 18, lead outright, not because of pit stops and all that. It was a bit crazy, but I've just seen the qualifying for the Dutch Grand Prix, and oh man, that really hurt my back, and I have got a bad back. It was like a bottoming out. Anyway, the Dutch Grand Prix, it all seems a lot closer. Mercedes seem a lot closer because they can run their car lower, I guess, so it's got more downforce. It'd be interesting to see, but I'm getting a bit kind of disillusioned with everything, I think. You know, the politics that's going on in this country, in the UK, in the US, you know, the stuff with Ukraine. I'm just, populism, clickbait, and I'm just doing less and less, you know, car stuff. I'm doing less and less YouTubing, and I think I need to just get my shit together and sort of get myself out of this funk that I'm in. But I don't know how to do that. So any ideas, I'll welcome. And also, I'm so out of money now. I can't afford coffees. Like coffees, going out for a coffee. So yeah, I really need to get my arse in gear. I say that every time. But anyway, that's the video. That's it. The Boxster has gone. It's a weight off my mind. It really is. Because it was like taking up precious brain capacity, because I don't have much brain capacity. And also, at my age, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, I feel like I've lost the capacity to learn new stuff. And so I've decided I'm going to learn how to do the Rubik's Cube again. I used to be able to do it when I was a little kid, and I've totally and utterly forgotten. And there we go. And I want to start learning to do that again. I don't want it to take forever. So I need to sit down half an hour every day and practice doing it so I can remember, because it's my lack of sort of being able to remember stuff that's upsetting. So watch this space. I might have to do a video on it. Anyway, thank you to everybody for watching, hitting like, subscribe. YouTube's been a bit funny. There's one video that I posted, nothing particularly interesting, none of my videos are, but it ended up having like a spike in views, but the average duration was really short. So I don't know what happened with that. But all the others are just averaging exactly the same as always. I'm not growing in terms of new subscribers or watch hours to get to the magic 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in a year. So, you know, I can become a YouTube millionaire. No, that's not gonna happen. So when I start looking for a job and get a job, all this stuff's gonna sort of, my profile on YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, Instagram, I'm not doing anything on that either, is gonna plummet. But I'll still try and do stuff, and hopefully the people who still comment and hit like and subscribe will keep doing that. For those who keep returning to watch, thank you. It'd be great if you could hit subscribe as well, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.